Good morning, everyone, and welcome to October. We have brought back Team Pumpkin and Team Skeleton for the return of, Spooktober, if you want to call it that.
October.
Well, it's October, but it's spooky. It's spooky October, so it's Spooktober. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I hope you all are doing well. I've been a little stressed, but otherwise doing well. Otherwise doing pretty good, so I don't think I can complain too much.
I think Jacebook said that your power is back on. Yeah, it was about 15 hours.
Yeah, it was not good timing for doing
No.
the quarry, but we did eventually get power back.
Yeah.
So
We do have to get rid of the food in our refrigerator. But that's fine. It wasn't a ton. It's like milk, creamer, ham, half a can of cat food.
it wasn't that
Yeah.
bad. It wasn't that bad.
The USDA has a big list about what you should get rid of and what you can keep. Like pickles are fine. They're in vinegar.
Yeah. There are some things that you should toss.
Uh-huh.
It's actually, it was kind of surprising to me. It's a very small window on some things. Like, there are some foods where the if the power is out for like whatever, 3 hours or something like that, it's like for certain things it's like toss them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it's cold in there. It's like, no. It's like after like 3 hours, you have to get rid of this. Condiments are generally fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends,
Because there's
right?
a lot of vinegar in some of them. Some of them have a lot of sugar, and that's okay.
Yeah, like if it was cream based, it might, you know,
We toss the mayo.
mayo, ranch, probably. But a lot of things are vinegar based, and that means it'll last forever. So, yeah.
Adapting the world-renowned magazine Attack on Popcorn into a visual novel game, where you acquire historic kimonos at a gym.
Also, Attack on Popcorn is me anytime I'm near a movie theater. 1,000 Bits from Nisa says, "Hey Rad, this is your weekly reminder that Veggie World is a wonderfully unique game that deserves to be played at Extra Life. Hashtag beat your veggies." I like that. A visual novel game where you acquire historic kimonos at the gym. If you were going to tell me what genre a game, or ask me what genre a game would be where you acquire historic kimonos at the gym, I'd probably tell you visual novel, so that seems pretty accurate. Also, let's start off by letting y'all know that Extra Life is this month. I can say that now. Extra Life is this month. At the end of this month, October 29th, we'll be doing Extra Life. It is our 11th year, I think, is the correct amount of years.
I think so too.
That's so many years. So later on in the stream, we'll look at totals. They are changing. Folks have been doing early donations every week, so we're seeing stuff change. I'm excited to look at what the totals are, because I actually have no idea. We got 48 months from Synthetic 20. Congrats on the 4. We got 19 months from Sapphire 316. 12 months from KT of the Wild. Keep clapping, because we got 12 months from Swift Force Sweeper.
Come here, Kippo.
Congrats on the ones there. We got 28 months from Fror Wolf. 49 months from DC20 Will Save. 20 months from Real Moist Pony. You coming up? Come on up. I got a good lap. Good boy. You lay down? Take your time. 25 from Akana, 18. 37 months from RunT.exe, 29 from Solilium, 43 from Penguin Frog, 19 from Circle Now Squared, 22 from Kimikawa, 36 from Platinum Pikachu. Congrats on 3. Appreciate that. Another game.
A new unicycle racer by EA Sports, set in chilly Long Life Town.
I like how it pronounces it Yay Sports.
Yay, sports.
Unicycle Racer by EA Sports. For those not in the know, Long Life Town is the name of the
Town of Tulip.
The Tulip Town. So, Uniracers, but in wintry Tulip Town. That was bits from Colin, who says, "Hey Rad, what is the next game the and Friends part of Steven and Friends will play without Steven?" It would be a wild decision for all of you to play Uniracers. I say all of you because it's a 2-player game.
All of us.
All of us.
Tournament.
Did y'all know that Uniracers was made by the same folks that would go on to make Grand Theft Auto? Uniracers is also a great game. It's a game that, like, I don't think a ton of people played at the time, but when I was a kid, that was one of the games that we had, and we played it a lot. So I really, really like Uniracers. First Directioner says, "I love your pumpkin mug." Well, thank you. These are both back available in the store. The skeleton and pumpkin mugs are available for the month of October at stevenshop.com. So you can get one of your own. And then you can be like, Pumpkin.
Hail the dreary rocket ship and ride to Tiny Eddie's khaki rat bites.
Oh, that's just a khaki rat. That's a bit from Darbicus. It is a new week and a new month. Tiny Eddie, give us something new and spooky to munch on.
Khaki rat bites.
I don't want to eat a rat in khakis, but I would very much love to see a rat in khakis. Like a little tiny pair of khakis and the rat's just making them work. I also really liked Hail the Dreary Rocket Ship.
Yeah, that part was really good.
Hail the Dreary Rocket Ship. Iron X Girl gifted 5 subs to Lugo44. Feather Sand Zeros.
Feathers and zeros.
Or Feather Sand. Yours makes more sense. Pro RJ Hunter, Jolly Roger Gay, and Snowmeath. Iron X Girl, thank you. We get 7 months from Your Psyche. 5 months from Sakademus. 300 bits from Jithy Picard says, "I am so happy and excited I am signing on my first car today. I can finally do what I want to this car, aka seat covers and stickers." I think I guess this can go for anything, but especially your car. You should make your car yours. If there are things that you want to do to your car to make it very much feel like your space, especially if you got to spend a lot of time in the car, go for it. Go for it. Seat covers, fuzzy dice, the
Steering wheel cover.
Steering wheel grip. Nitrous. Whatever it is that makes, your car be more of your special place. I like that. I'm all for that. Truck nuts. Whatever makes your car your special place. 5 months from Cascadea. 300 bits from Valix Butterfly says, "Asking for some good vibes today. I have approximately 15,000 appointments, and I'm working, and my boss wants to meet with me today. Well, first off, good vibes. Second off, I hope that your boss wants to meet with you today for some unknown, very positive thing.
Yeah.
That's my hope. That's my hope. And sometimes this is not necessarily directly related to this, but as a quick aside.
Yeah.
Sometimes people in authority will say something to you, like they'll be like, "Oh, I'd like to see you, talk to you later," and like at that time is when they should tell you what it's about,
or at least like sort of like a small thing, like.
And sometimes they don't, and I'm like, don't do that. Like if you're gonna be like, "Hey, I want to see you in my office later," then like right then tell me what that's about, because that sort of thing is going to like burrow into your skull for like several hours, and you're just gonna be like, what on earth could it possibly be?
You can't get anything else done.
And then later you go in and they're like, "We just need you to sign the card for Deborah," and you're like, "Oh, why didn't you mention that at the time instead of making me think all day all these things?" Anyway, I see that many of you.
We need to talk later about what we're doing for dinner.
Mallory, me and you are going to have a chat after breakfast stream. I need you to sign the card for Deborah.
I do actually need to do that because it was your mom's birthday yesterday.
I need you to sign the card for Deborah. Man, that's funny. That's very, very funny. Anyway, good vibes, and I wish you all the best with all of the things you're dealing with today. We get 300 bits from Slick Duke, who says, "Appropriate ham alert." We did have to toss the ham. There wasn't much ham left, though, thankfully.
We got really lucky based on what was in the fridge. And the freezer's fine.
Yeah. The only thing that happened in the freezer is that, like, the temperature went down a little, and we had a pizza that was up on its side in there, and it had thawed just enough and then refrozen where it, like, kind of became, like, misshapen.
But, like, I opened the ice cream, and there's really only, like, a measuring cup full of ice cream.
Yeah.
And, like, it was not along the bottom. It was, like, still up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. The temp went down in the freezer. It got cold. The power went out, and that sucker, ice everywhere, started to come out of the fridge.
The freezer, or the ice maker spit water at me.
It was mad that you let the power go
out.
How dare you let a
The
tree...
power came back on, and it started beeping. So I went downstairs, and it was like, power outage. And it was like, okay.
This refrigerator...
And then it spit water at me. It was like, no.
This refrigerator is what... We've never even had a refrigerator that had the thing in the door to get the water. And this one is like from the Air and Space Museum. It does all this other stuff, and it tells you when there was a power outage. And I'm like, first off, I will know. Thanks, I will know. But, you know, it's. I guess it's a nice feature that the refrigerator tells me that a thing happened. We got 49 months from Space Vixen Music. 300 bits from Radio Dread says, "Tossing a clown into the sacrifice pile to summon Train." That clown died doing what he loved, jumping in front of trains.
Brandon's point is why it tells you. What if you went out of town?
That's true. I mean, there could probably be some other tells. I mean, I'm signed up for the energy
alerts from the power company.
from the power company's alerts. But yeah, it's true. If you didn't have any other thing in your house to let you know,
yeah,
then yeah, that could be.
And if it was overnight, we have so many UPSs in this house. It is a chorus when the power goes out.
Yeah. Yeah, there
all
are
the
many.
Power supplies start beeping.
There are
It's
many,
like,
and I
shut
actually
me off.
And I actually just bought more. So yeah, it does. If the power goes out, it's just beep 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 beep. The thing that I always worry about is that if the power goes out and we're not home, Kepler's going to lose his mind because the entire house does beep. And I'm sure that there's no part of Kepler that loves that. But, you know, we do need things to stay on, so it's kind of important. We got 300 bits from Satsy. Says, "I started making brownies last night, then I got distracted. I have cocoa bread. Can you tell I'm nervous about organ removal? Clown." Good vibes to you as well. But cocoa bread?
Something someone told me pre-surgery was like, this isn't every day for the doctors and the nurses.
That is helpful.
You know, this is very routine for them. Like, you know, I know it's not for you, but
That's actually that is helpful. I find that helpful. Like, you know, because obviously for any individual person, if you're going in for surgery, it's a big deal for you, right? Like, obviously. But yeah, if you think about it from the perspective of the surgeon, it is routine.
Yeah.
That is helpful. I find that helpful. Hopefully others find that helpful as well. We get 28 months from Nano Carb Zero, 35 from Triforce Drummer, 49 from Foss Extreme, 300 from Furious Kitty says, just watched the vlog where the power supply of your computer broke, Steven. Funny, I had been researching parts for a new computer myself, but ironically, I'm keeping my old PSU. Of all of the parts that I've had to replace in computers over the years, the one that I've had to replace most frequently has been power supplies, because I've had to do that more than once. And I think that's normal, probably. That would be my suspicion, is that of all of the computer parts that folks would generally have to replace, a PSU would probably be most common. But just in general, computers are terrible. Ooh, yeah, Doodle says more than storage. Storage might win. However, I've never lost anything other than, I think, well, twice. There's only been 2 instances where I've lost a storage thing and like
what was on it is gone.
And I didn't have some sort of backup. But I guess theoretically I've had drives fail just slightly more often than PSUs fail. Yeah. As a reminder, and this is just a little wake-up call for anyone here, your data, your drives, your hard drives, they will fail. It's not a matter of if they're going to fail. They are going to fail. It's just a matter of when it will happen. Sometimes I know people don't like to hear that. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. It's going to happen. If you have, is that a threat? By your own computer, it is. You really just... This is what a sponsorship would be if we had one. You just... Whether it's some sort of backup service through a service like Backblaze, or whether you go out to the Walmart and you have an external hard drive and you put your stuff on it, you really need to have your stuff in more than one place. If you have stuff on your computer and you don't care if you lose it, then that's totally fine. But if you have anything at all, anything, even if you just use Google Drive and you just like take a few of the important files and put them on there, like make sure that your data exists in more than one spot. It will die. It will die. So, I'm 22 and I'm not afraid of it. It is true though. Like, if you have a computer and you don't do a whole lot of like important stuff on it, and like you're like, there's nothing on here, I'm not afraid to lose, then that's totally fine. But for anyone else, seriously, I just want you to know, there's going to come a day. There's going to come a day. So, just so you heard it today from me. We get 300 bits from Valix Butterfly, who just says, thank you for good vibes. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. And again, I do hope the day goes good for you. 33 months from Jolteron, 27 months from Rainbow Suaten, and 300 bits from Trademarker says, just wanted to mention I got a new mechanical keyboard. Actually typing this message out with it right now. Beats having to hunt and peck on the iPad keyboard. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, if you're using an actual physical keyboard, yes, that's much better than typing on a screen.
Did I tell you my grandma prefers typing on the screen?
Was your grandma a typist?
Yes.
Okay.
Before she had kids, yes.
Yeah, I thought that. Okay, well then that's very surprising to me.
In like the 30s and 40s, that's what she did. Like out of high school, before she met my grandfather. Only Link Plus. Why? I don't know. And I asked, because the family had gotten her the iPad and the keyboard, and I was like, and it's not like the Apple iPad keyboard. I was like, do you want me to remove the keyboard because it's part of the case? And she's like, no, it's fine. I just prefer the other one.
That's very surprising to me.
I think because it needs to be charged.
Oh. So it's a hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
I don't know if anyone showed her how to charge that either.
So it's not only a hassle, it's an unknown hassle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I can see that. It just seems bizarre to me that someone who has a massive amount of experience typing would then choose to forego that for a screen.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't, well, I guess you could, I've never tried. I guess you could theoretically, your hands would need to be a certain size to put your fingers.
Your hands are too big. Mine,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Can you actually put your
Yeah.
fingers on home row on an iPad
It's
and
a
type?
little crunched, but yeah, I can do that.
That seems so difficult to me. I've never even tried because, again, my hands are huge. But also, like, you have no tactile feedback to tell you where you are.
Yeah.
Like, you have muscle.
You have to look at it.
You have muscle memory, and, like, to an extent, the device is going to auto-correct your stuff into the right place. But, like, I don't like that. I don't really like that. Actually, over the weekend, we were spending time with Alex and Haley uses a very special keyboard. It's I don't know how you would describe it. It's like a ergonomic.
It's in two
thing.
pieces, and there's like
It's in two pieces.
it has these like screws that like lift parts of it up.
Yeah, and it has a bunch of special buttons. Yeah, I've shown it on the vlog. I showed it whenever they lived in
Birmingham.
in Birmingham, and she was like, please try my keyboard. It would bring me
So much joy.
so much joy. It is still QWERTY, but it's a split keyboard, and it has layers. So it has like upper and lower layers. There's buttons to use those, and then there's a bunch of like addition. So there's no space key. There's just a bunch of tiny extra buttons that you can program to be whatever. And like, Haley doesn't use backspace as backspace. Her backspace is located in the same location as caps lock would be, which is completely different because when you go to use backspace, you're using the pinky on your right hand, and her whole thing is like, ergonomically, it's terrible because you have to stretch to do it. And if you're doing, caps lock, that's something that you can more easily do. It's wild. Like when she was explaining it to me, I got it. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I understand, but nearly 30 years muscle memory typing, there's no way I can do this. But also she's the same way.
Yeah.
She's typed all her life, and she's actually forcing herself to go through this process and do some things because she wants it to be ergonomic. And I'm like, I can't do that. I cannot.
Slick Duke says, have you seen the keyboard that's like two keys and you shift the keys to get the letters you want? Is that the one
Yes.
where they're all kind of like little joysticks? I saw one like that and it was super cool.
Yeah, if I mean, there's some interesting devices out there, so it works.
Yeah.
We got one. I unchecked it. It's over in 15 seconds. We got 48 months from Cybe. Let me put this down. Congrats on 4. 16 months from Wicked 3DS. And 500 bits from Midna Coop. It says, hello. Steven, I decided it would be funny to play Tunic while drinking, and now I am drunk enough to not have inhibitions to chat to you. I hope you are having a good morning. You're a chill dude. Thank you, Midna. I appreciate it. I also, I hope that you enjoyed Tunic. I've heard extremely good things about Tunic. I actually, this is bad. Occasionally, well, I say occasionally, very often, developers and publishers send me keys for their games. Sometimes I request keys. When developers and publishers send me keys, I'm just like, okay, they send me keys all the time. In a typical month, I might get somewhere between like 50 and 100 keys for games. It's a lot of games, and you know, while I appreciate it, like I can't possibly play all these games. Occasionally, I will reach out to a developer and request something very specific. I requested Tunic. I have not played it, and I feel genuinely bad about that. Because I was like, hey, I would take one of those keys. I want to try that. I just never got around to it. So, at some point in the future, I am going to play Tunic because, you know, my guilt will get to me. I'm not saying I'll play through the whole thing on stream or anything, but I'm at least going to try it. I'm going to do some sort of first 20-something because I actually asked for it, and I got the key, and yeah. That's true. Satsy says, in fairness, a lot happened at that time. That's basically what happened, is that I was like, yeah, I'm Tunic, and then life started to come. Ah! So, yeah, not exactly sure when, but I'm going to try that game. It also has done really well. It's done really, really well.
Someone asked what my shirt is from. This is a band shirt.
The world is a beautiful place.
The world is a beautiful place.
And I am no longer afraid to die. If you want to listen
to them, the main song is You Can't Live There Forever. That's their top song on Spotify, I think.
How did you get into this band? Because it really felt...
I was listening to the Spotify playlist that's like, we think you'd like this.
Yeah.
And it kept coming up, and I kept hearing a song, and I was like, I like this song.
And then you bought a band shirt.
Then I bought a band shirt.
Well, I mean, not like one to one. There was some stuff in between.
Because it reminded me of, what's the kid's book? Where the kid wakes up and goes into the forest.
Oh,
gosh, what is it?
Narnia.
Where the Wild Things Are. Thank you, Kayla Crisp.
Oh, that's not... Okay.
That's what it reminded me of. They also have a shirt with a cat on it that I kind of want.
I'm thinking of... It's a similar situation.
Narnia, yeah.
I mean, it's not that different.
Yeah.
There's a forest. It's just that...
You go through a wardrobe
closet,
instead of... Yeah.
They go into the closet, and then there's winter, and the goat man comes out. Mm-hmm. Mr. Tumpkins. Professor Tumpkins. Professor Tumpkins comes out, and he's like... I actually have no idea what happens after that. He's like, there's a lion.
I think he talks about the witch first.
There's a witch. Her name's... I don't know if she has a name. Glendrich? Glendrich.
Are you confusing this with...
And then the lion's name is Azron. Azron? That sounds right. Glendrich and Azron. And then the first thing they do is go to like a beaver house. It's like a house full of beavers. And I have no idea what happens after that. I read that in Whenever You Read It. What is the wardrobe's name? I can't answer that.
Oh yeah, she's a queen. Yeah, I think she is a queen.
Well, then why is it called The Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe? It should be The Lion, the Queen
I
in the
don't
Wardrobe.
remember. It's been a long time. I did not get into it as much as some other books in that vein.
Jade said, what was the name of the band and the song again? The band is The World is a Beautiful Place, and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die.
It is not the best band name because it is incredibly long.
It's a bad band name. It's objectively not good.
I missed seeing them in Durham by like 2 days over the summer when we moved here, and I was really upset. And then they're going to be back, and they're going to be back right around Extra Life, and I can't do that either.
What was the song name?
You Can't Live There Forever.
Steven, yeah, I'm not shortening it. If someone makes a mess, then they have to sit in their mess. So you chose this band name. I'm gonna say the band name. That's your band name. That's what you chose. Anyway, 300 Bits and Will Peters who says, sorry to everyone else for this, but Steven, is there anything you can say about micro cameras? What is a micro camera? Would be my first question. I don't know what a micro camera is. What counts as a micro camera? Like a GoPro? We only use giant cameras. Like, cameras are pretty small now. I mean, yeah, I don't know what a micro camera is. Except pill cam. Pill cam would be pretty. That'd be
micro. Ultra micro.
Yeah. Filming for stop motion? What? I'm just gonna Google and just see what happens when I Google micro camera, because I have never, like a spy camera type thing. So when I search micro camera, the sponsored shop stuff is all for, well, it's not all for, but the first results are GoPros. And then there's, yeah, like spy cameras, like real tiny stuff. I don't know anything about that sector of cameras. I know that they exist. I don't know
anything about them.
I don't know anything about them. But yeah, there's an entire subsection of stuff where like they're just trying to make cameras as small as possible to make like spy gear or whatnot. I think the concept is neat. I think seeing how much quality you can squeeze out of it, and like all of the same rules apply. Like a camera is a camera, so like it needs light, and if you're working on a really tiny sensor, if you're gonna do a camera that's this big, then in order to get a good image, it's gotta have a whole lot of light. Really needs some light. Let's see, we got 300 bits from Furious Kitty. It says, funny keyboard story. We used QWERTY at work. One time, the keyboard for the American pilots, not the airline, Americans, broke, and we replaced it with a quartz. So many passwords had to be reset. Oops, sorry. Oh, so you went from QWERTY to quartz. What's the other one? There's the other big one after QWERTY, and I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, Dvorak. That's it. Dvorak. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's too hard. I think that's the interesting thing, is that generally for most people, you grow up in an environment where if you're going to learn using a keyboard, you're learning on QWERTY. So if you want to use Dvorak or one of these other ones, you have to...
Give me the bird!
If you're going to use one of these other ones, you have to like deliberately choose that, like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to learn this, and it takes a long time to break your old muscle memory. So, yeah, you have to rebrain it, and I have just never wanted to rebrain it. Personally, though, I feel like for using a keyboard for my use, because I'm not someone that does a lot of typing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I would benefit a lot from trying to reprogram my brain.
I thought about doing it in like freshman year of college.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that like...
That's also around the time I did a substitution code for myself and started writing that way.
How do you mean?
Well, it's just like you sub one thing for another and have like the alphabet, but it's subbed out for something.
That seems...
Yeah, I wanted to keep my diary secret.
Okay. All right. I was wondering if there was a reason for that, or
Yeah,
if
that
you're
was-
just if
that
you're
was
just
it.
like
Mhm.
just wanted to do that. I'm like, seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Truck drivers are dropping their cerulean orb to pick up Tiny Eddie's many smooth confused slices.
Should I ponder the cerulean orb? No, I need mini smooth confused slices.
1,000 bits from Nice. This reminds me, I just watched the Egg Collect video again, and Josh commented that he would like to try it. So maybe a bumper idea, right, Eddie? It's possible. It's possible. Truck drivers are and that's actually how truck drivers are able to be on the road that long, is that they have one hand on their big rig and one hand on a cerulean orb. But they're dropping that orb to eat slices of mini smooth confused. There's no ingredients. There's just With no ingredients. What's it made of? Well, you know. They're small, they're smooth.
And they're confused.
They're confused. Truck drivers love them. 27 months from I'm Advil Melon. 11 months from Sweet Serene. 500 bits from Midna Koopa says, for real though, first breakfast stream I've caught live. Sorry it had to be, I'm drunken on a backwards schedule. Love your content. Keep on keeping on. No worries. You're good. You're absolutely good. And if you're on a backwards schedule, I hope you can fix it, because I've been there, and I feel like I'm there, not all the time, but regularly.
I don't want to be there anymore.
I don't want to be there ever.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I'm not always on a backwards schedule, but I'm there often enough for me to be mad about it. And some of you could probably identify with that. But that's how I feel about my schedule in my life, is that it, like, there's always at least one day a week that I'm going to bed later than I want. And I hate that. Like, there's like one day of the week where I wake up late, and I'm like, if only I could wake up every day at like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. I would love that so much. But the problem is there's a lot going on, and then also our days are different.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part. You know.
Well, if we got on a schedule, we could do it.
Yeah, but you know,
the only really
talk is cheap. That's hard to achieve.
The only really difficult day is Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we should switch Saturday nights an hour earlier.
Yeah, actually, so Alex and Haley moved here, as you all know, and they are coming from Central Time. So when we do our stuff, our Stephen and Friends stuff on Saturday nights, we've always historically started 9 p.m. Eastern. But for them,
didn't we used to start at 10?
A long time ago.
Back when more
many
people
years
lived west.
Many years ago. We always started. we always started at. We always start at 9 p.m. Eastern, and for Alex and Haley, that's been 8 p.m. Central. So when they moved here, and we did our first Saturday game night, they were like, "Oh my God, it's so late." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "It's so late." I'm like, "It's an hour later." They're like, "Why would you ever get started at 9 p.m.?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry." Thomas says, now you're cutting into my time. We're going to have to sit everyone down. We're going to have to completely redo the entire schedule.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of times where, like when I'm not dealing with Saturday right now, like right now, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, oh, well, we should do 7. We could do, but the truth is, when Saturday actually gets here and things are going on,
are we gonna even be ready?
And like that's why we did 9 p.m. is because there's so much other stuff generally going on that's when we need to actually do it. So
we should have a discussion this week.
We should have a discussion. Yeah. I think 7 p.m. would be way too early. And again, we'd cut into Thomas's time.
I know.
But
Thomas, when is your ideal time?
Yeah, Thomas. Thomas, do you have an ideal time? Do you like 9 p.m.? Is Thomas in Central?
Yes.
Well, then no wonder Thomas loves it's the perfect time right now, because he's in Central. God. Well, that's the problem. All right, well, anyway. It's the best times. It's the best time zone if you have engagements in Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
Then Central time zone is the best because everything just happens an hour early. If you were in, like, if everyone was in Central, then things would not happen. I think things would happen at 9 p.m. Central, and then you'd be screwed. But the fact that everyone is in Eastern and you're in Central, you get a little bonus. You get to do things just a little bit earlier.
Thomas still hasn't answered when is best for him.
He said now. He said what it is now. Which, like, it's subjective. Maybe we could start just doing it at like 8:30.
Yeah.
So it's 30 minutes sooner. Might be a good trade-off.
The most reanimated spiders all desire Tiny Eddie's extra crispy ocean noisy fritters.
That was a lot, Eddie.
Reanimated spiders. Everyone loves to think about reanimated spiders. That's a bitch from Lee473. Speaking of times, I think it's time for a snack. Take it away, Eddie. When I think of reanimated spiders, I can only think of Skyrim. Only. There's no other thing in my head. I just think of having like a big wand of resurrection and just pointing it at like dead spiders and be like, you work for me. That's all I can think about. Tiny Eddie's extra crispy ocean. Noisy fritter. Well, the ocean's very noisy.
It is.
Extra crispy ocean. I don't love that. If the ocean's extra crispy, I think something's wrong with the ocean.
Oh yeah, Eddie has spooky themed sentences now.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's October, everyone. As a reminder, it's October. Where are we at on our pumpkin skeleton? Skeleton's winning.
Oh, I should move this way.
Skeleton's winning. Skeleton's got 67, and pumpkin's got 45. You sure? People like the skeleton more than the pumpkin? Luna Pearl says it's the best month. Now that we've drawn attention to it, we'll see skeleton climb even higher. Okay, so that's what's happening. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. I think that is what happened last year. So we did this last year.
Yeah.
Actually last year we did a lot of cup changes throughout the year. This year has been busy.
Yeah.
And we've been stuck on tea and coffee for the entirety of the year because like we have not had time to deal with all of the other things that we would have liked to do. But in time for October, I was like, we gotta, bring this back because I think of all of them, Pumpkin and Skeleton was the favorites. So we brought it back in time for October. We have the mugs back in the store, like I said earlier.
I had to find this one.
Yeah, this one was already out.
When we moved. This one we found easy, and we were like, we got 6 mugs. That's all we need for now.
But this
and then
one,
I had to hunt that one down.
This one was in a box. There are multiple boxes of mugs in this house.
Yeah, there's 3.
They are not all unpacked. So we had to go find this one, but we found it just in time for spooky streams. So throughout the month of October, we'll be having Pumpkin and Skeleton have a battle. And I do believe Skeleton won last year, but I don't think it was like super far apart. I think it was pretty close. You need a mug display. I mean, we did have
The shelf.
we had the shelf at the last place.
And the shelf is at Steven's parents.
That's one of the
It's one
very
of like
last
4
things.
things at their house left over.
Yeah, that and as we learned, a Christmas tree
Yeah, the little mini Christmas tree.
that Mal would keep in her office. So, yeah.
It's that, and then my slow cooker is there. And then one
Your
other
slow
thing.
cooker's there? Mm-hmm. Really? Oh.
Yeah, I need that back for extra life too. We'll get it next week.
Yeah,
We'll get everything next week.
Yeah, we'll be at my parents' sometime next week.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. I don't think we were there at all in September. Were we?
We went for your dad's birthday, but it wasn't on his birthday. It was a little bit before, so I think it might have been the very
might have been
end
August.
of August.
Yeah. My goal internally, my goal is to be back home once a month. That is what I am aiming for, and like I'm giving myself permission to waver from that, especially lately, because things are just things are real busy, and we're still in the process of like getting things set up in our own home and like helping Alex and Haley, and then soon Brandon like move and get everything taken care of. So like we're doing all of this stuff, and I'm giving myself permission to not feel guilt over the fact that I really do want to be back home and I want to spend time with my parents. But oh, that's a great question. Valix Butterfly says, how did your parents fare with the hurricane? They did better than us.
So did Dan. Dan did better than us.
And they live on the coast.
I know.
They didn't lose power. We lost power for 15 hours, and my parents did not lose power at all. And we live really far inland in Raleigh, and they live on the coast in Myrtle Beach.
Dan streamed.
Yeah, Dan did a stream. We couldn't stream. Dan streamed during the hurricane. Hurricane was actively going through, and he's like, I guess I'll just stream on Twitch. And I get it.
Candy Lobe says, how did Dan's family fare? I think Dan's family did just fine. I mean, I didn't hear otherwise.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
knowing where they are, they were fine.
They're in Jayville,
yeah.
So they were okay. The thing that, like, it makes sense now why we lost power, and I'm realizing that I'm probably gonna have to accept that a little bit by living in Raleigh, because Raleigh is the city of oaks.
Yeah.
Which means that there's just trees everywhere. We have a bajillion trees here. So even though we didn't...
Which is nice. It's very green.
It is nice, but it does mean that, you know, if it gets windy, one of them trees is probably going to go, oops. And then that's just it, you know. There are so many trees that can potentially, you know, fall on a power line or whatever that, like, you don't have a chance. Just, you're probably going to lose power.
Brandon says, let's live in a desert instead. I looked at Brandon's place when the power was out on the map, and that was power out too for about the same amount of time.
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
One of the things that we never ever bought whenever we lived in Myrtle Beach, and there were times that I wish we, you know, there are times that I wish we had it, was a generator.
Yeah.
And maybe this will be the time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe having one in Raleigh would make sense. I don't know. The fact that Dan and my parents didn't deal with any loss of power, and we didn't have power for 15 hours is just kind of like... But Alex and Haley had power.
Yeah. They lost power for 5 minutes, and that was it.
So, I don't know. We'll make a decision later on. We'll see if we have to deal with any more. I mean, we're in hurricane season.
Yeah.
We have...
Only till the end of November.
Yeah. But that's 2 months.
Yeah.
And a lot can happen in 2 months.
Most of our area does get them this time of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like early hurricane season, it doesn't happen as much over here.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm just like, we'll see what happens. I don't know if we'll be dealing with more hurricanes, but it is possible. Because if you think about it, from like the first forming to the hurricane actually like striking land is a period of what, less than 10 days?
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. So when you've still got almost 60 days in hurricane season, it's a lot of time for things to happen. Yeah. Anyway, it's fun. It's totally fine. We got 41 months from Scrumdunger, 25 months from Melamoka, 7 months from Sage of Stars, 25 months from Rizaluka, and 33 months from Callium. Thank you. Appreciate it. Super Thingy Bob says, thank goodness you don't have any big events before the end of November. Wait. I have to tell you that anytime we do anything that is...
Yeah.
You alright? What'd you do?
You know how I burned myself?
Yeah?
Well, I just stretched that part of my skin and it just had a little crack.
Sorry. Mal burned herself. Mal tends to burn herself, unfortunately.
It was really stupid, and I'm really mad at myself. I don't tend to burn myself.
You do.
I have not had a burn like this in a long, long time.
And I'm very glad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that one is bad. Yeah, but you do... That one's bad.
I really don't burn myself. You say this like I burn myself daily. I don't.
It's not daily, but like...
It's not even weekly or monthly.
It's just more often than I do.
Because I cook more than you do.
That's not inherently true.
It is inherently true.
Maybe a little
We were at Alex and Haley's on Saturday, and she made some, like, udon soup with, like, broth, and, like, we had 3 types of mushrooms, and they were all delicious. And they have a gas stove.
Yes.
And I was looking at, because she had borrowed my big stock pot, because she doesn't have a big stock pot. And I was telling her how the lip of it is really sharp, and I was like, it's not up like this. It kind of comes out.
Yeah, it's
and it's like really thin, and I don't like it. Like, I like the handles of it, but I don't like that rim because it's sharp.
My assumption is
So
that...
I grabbed it to show her, and I burned like all of my fingerprints right here, and then I also got that sharp rim right across this knuckle, and that blistered, and that's what I just hurt.
My assumption is it does that because it's just a tiny, tiny lip, but it folds out. My assumption is it does that to better hold the lid.
It does.
Like, that's the purpose of it, so it will prevent it from, like, moving around or whatever. But yeah, it is weirdly sharp. Because what they could have done, instead of making it...
just made it a little thicker so it wasn't
they
sharp.
could have, like, rounded it completely...
Yeah, they could have rolled the whole rim.
Yeah, they could have... Yeah, and I don't know why that they didn't do that. I don't know.
Anyway, it's a gas stove, so all of it gets hot, which I'm not used to because I never had gas in my life. I've cooked on a gas stove, but not often enough to be cognizant of that fact.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you burnt yourself, because that sucks.
Yeah.
And that I haven't actually seen your finger until now, and that's...
Well, my fingerprints aren't as bad, but they're like shiny and they're like cracking a little bit.
Yeah.
But those don't hurt. This hurts.
Yeah, that looks like it hurts. Well, time heals all wounds, so just give it just a little bit more time.
Yeah.
I feel like Alex hurt himself. What did he do?
He fell.
He fell! Alex... Oh, Lord. Alex has been wearing tennis shoes that don't have any tread at all. Like, he's worn these tennis shoes for so long that there are no tread on them. I mean, they are completely smooth. And this is one of those things where, you know, Haley is like, please, for the love of God, just get new shoes. And he's like, I don't need new shoes. These shoes work great. They don't. You know, so the other day, he took Leica out to walk her, and it was raining, and the sidewalk was slippery, and he fell. Who would have thought that he would have fallen? He fell, and he really completely scraped up his arm, and he has a bandage on it that's like the size of my hand. And even after that, when Haley was like, will you buy shoes? He's like, I don't need shoes. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't help this man. There's nothing I can do. We get 300 bits of 9 out of 20 who says, on day 4 of the rain from Ian, the rain from Ian has been bearing down on southeastern Pennsylvania but I have good news. I got my first theater teaching residency. I'm going to be teaching first and second graders theater after school for 9 weeks. Times are good.
Very cool.
That's good. I'm sorry to hear about all the rain, but the theater teaching residency is really cool. I think that's a really interesting age range for theater also.
Yeah.
Because you're definitely going to... I don't know a whole lot about kids, but I would assume that first and second graders, that's old enough where you will start to see a little bit of like kids that are really into it. You know what I mean? Where like there's going to be some kids that like kind of naturally, I think even at that age are going to be like very, what's the word? Like performative.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to really get into it. And then you have other kids that like, I think about it whenever I think of like when parents go to whatever they call the things where all the kids do like a little show, like a choir show or whatever.
Like a school play.
That's exactly the thing. Thank you. You know all the words. When they go to like a school play and you got some of the kids that are up in the thing and they're like, they definitely don't want to be there and they're looking around and they're... Yeah, anyway. I feel like that age is... you probably get a chance to see some of the kids that like really, really want to be there. Recital's a good one too. Recital. Yeah. I don't know. I love watching the videos sometimes where people will be like, there'll be like a school play or a church play or something and have all the kids lined up, and then there'll be like one kid that's just screaming the lyrics of the songs. Like all the other kids are like, and the one kid's like, just screaming. I love it. That's that sort of thing. That always brings a smile to my face. Anyway, 48 months from Jason Jennings. That's a 4. Congrats on 4. Becca says future metal singer. Yeah, I like both of it. I like it when the kids are just screaming, and then I also like it when the kids are not there. That's also great because sometimes like they are just not. It feels like you have like this entire.
You mean like mentally, right? Now, because like
yes,
I like when the kids are not there.
I like. I like it when they go to put on the school recital and none of the kids show up, but they start playing the music off the CD anyway, and there's just nobody there. And then everyone in the audience is like, "What happened?" Obviously, there'll be videos that show up on social media, and there'll be like one kid
that's just like.
Sometimes they're screaming at their parents. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, "Mom! Mom! Mom!" And like everyone is like, "Oh, Christmas tree, Mom! Mom!" I really like that because there's an age at which all of that stops, right? There's an age at which like the children become cognizant of like, I can't do that.
Yeah. So
before that age kicks in, there's a potential for an incredible amount of humor, and I really, really like that. So if only I were brave enough as a small child to let all of my inhibitions be thrown to the wind and just say hello to my mom from a crowd. Anyway, it was great. I love that. Renee says, in preschool, Maddie had a little Christmas concert and she's just playing with her dress and her reindeer antlers. Yeah, it's great. And like the thing is, kids just want to be kids and they're just doing their thing, and you're just kind of trying to like gently guide them to whatever the thing is that they need to do. But they're still very autonomous. They're like just gonna do whatever. It's great. We got 26 months from Gamers 00700. Thank you, Gamers. We got 500 bits from Safrina. It says, I've got a dumb story for you, grandparents. For the sake of my sanity, I started recording Let's Plays and am trying to offer both with and without commentary versions. YouTube won't allow multi-track recording, so instead of re-recording the gameplay, I've got the saved video on the no commentary audio track and am recording that while I'm at work, when all you have is a hammer indeed. So you've got the saved video on the no commentary audio track. Okay. I mean, that'll work. I've actually thought about that exact same thing. First off, I'm mad that YouTube won't allow multi-track recordings because that is a feature that could get utilized, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Probably not often, but they did allow multi-track video at some point. I don't know how well that's known, but they were testing that for a while, where you could actually upload multiple videos as long as they were like the same length, and then you could watch a video and you could choose your camera angle. So they were all, it was like, you know, you could upload 4 videos or whatever. They're all streaming at the same time and you just choose which one you want to watch. That was a feature from like a million years ago, and I actually tried something similar to that with Left 4 Dead. Do you remember?
No.
Me and you did a Left 4 Dead map just to test out the feature, and you can like choose whether you want to watch my screen or mouse screen, and it's happening at the same time. The problem is, as time goes on, like who knows what YouTube does with those features, so there's a chance that like that video is like hella broken right now, and it's impossible to actually watch it in any meaningful way. But yeah, doing it the way that you're doing is fine. The only problem that I have found with doing it that way, and it's probably not a big enough problem to re-record it because that's a lot of effort, is that when you are doing commentary, you do tend to like stay on a screen longer, right? Because you're commentating, you're adding things to it. And if you take that commentary away and you're watching a no commentary version, then it might hang on a screen longer than a viewer might expect. Is it worth re-recording an entire Let's Play? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Personally, I wouldn't do that. But would I love to see multi-track audio come to YouTube? Yeah, I don't think it will, but God, that'd be great. Because you could do so much with that. You could have, you could allow people the ability to watch things and choose what they hear.
Yeah.
Imagine, I'm just throwing out this as an idea. Imagine, if you will, a game of, I don't want to use them. Among Us would work, but something that's more team-based. Project Winter. Imagine that you're watching Project Winter, and there's 2 teams in Project Winter. It works like Among Us, and you can actually choose which team you want to hear. Or you're watching Counter-Strike, or I don't know, some other competitive shooter. You got a team game, right? And you can actually choose which team's comms that you're listening to while you're watching the video. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That would just be really neat. So I'm not saying that it would be used very often, and I'm sure that's why they don't bother to develop and support it, but I just like the idea a lot. I wish we could do that sort of thing. Yeah, it would be really specifically for esports. That would be very, very cool. And that's actually something that it would be really nice if they went back to supporting multi-track video, because you could cut together the video for Team A and you could cut together the video for Team B and just listen to their comms while you watch that. That would be neat! But unfortunately, the only way that we have to do that now is to upload multiple different things and then run it through. There's like websites where you can load up multiple videos at once.
Yeah.
That's the only real way to do it, but it's kind of a pain. Anyway, is it bean time? I think it's bean time. Bean time. These are not new beans.
Stale.
These are slightly stale beans. I will be getting beans updated pretty soon. Once I have October 1st's vlog out.
It really sounds like the trash pickup is here, but it's not that today.
I hope not.
I wish it was and we had stuff out.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Oh yeah, I should probably announce that too. Disc Only is tonight. We are doing Disc Only. We decided about that yesterday. There's been a lot of things up in the air. It's fine. It's totally fine. Disc Only is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern over on John's channel. All of us will be there. All of us being me and Tom and Jared and John and Dan.
Give me the bird.
Yeah, our normal time, because we're supposed to do it on the first Tuesday of every month, and we are this month. We were actually, yeah. Agent G says Chaos Cookie is not happening. Yeah, I never told anyone about this, so it's not going to be news here. But originally there was going to be a Chaos Cookie stream this week, and we could not do it since someone was unavailable. So that's not happening. But you probably, if you were here, you didn't even know about it. So the thing that you didn't know about is not happening. So you're good. You're good. Yeah, it's a Coliseum bonus stream. So how many Coliseum bonus streams are there?
I don't know.
It seems like there's a lot. Have we only done one? It still seems like a lot. There's so many. There's so many. John streams. When John streams, he streams for like 6 to 8 hours, and I'm like, John, it's so long. That's so long. Like, we stream at most in the mornings. We stream for like 90 minutes. On Fridays, we'll go a little bit longer, but like, we don't do like this. The 6 hours. That's just a long time. Yeah, in the middle of the night. That's right. John gets started when I'm like, oh, it's about time for bed. John's like, all right, time to turn on the old computer. It's just a lot. 18 months from Avarak1. Thank you, Avarak. 500 Bits Marvel 410 says, multi-track audio does exist to some extent. MLB broadcasts a handful of games a year on YouTube, and there is a way to select if you want to listen to YouTube's commentators or select the home or away team standard broadcasters. So it does exist.
It's just not everyone.
And it's only accessible to the to Major League Baseball. So I do see a path forward here.
Yeah.
I need to get I need to become an MLB broadcaster. This will work. What we'll do is I'll start doing MLB broadcasting on go Mud Crabs. I'll start doing MLB broadcasting on Stephen Plays. And then
Chaz, what do you think about this?
And then once I do that, I'll just send an email to YouTube and I'll be like, hello, I am a real MLB broadcaster. I couldn't help but notice I don't seem to have the multi-track audio feature. Could you please turn that on? There is definitely a part of me that's like, I wonder if I could ask my YouTube partner manager. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. It wouldn't hurt to ask, but probably not. Probably not. The thing that I would really want is the multi-track video stuff. But I could ask. Like the worst thing that they can say is no. Well, the worst thing they can say is like, what are you talking about? They'll be like, there's this feature that like 6 channels have. Can I have it? and then the answer will be no. But I could ask. I'm just going to be like, hey, any of the weird YouTube features that no one uses except for like 6 channels, if you just give them all to me, just turn them on my account.
Yeah.
I would just make use of them for the novelty of it. But I seriously would use a multi-track video thing. That would be cool. That'd be fun. The only worry that I have is that
Hit them with the
excuse me. Could I have the feature that was in beta 7 years ago and was never officially rolled out to any channels? If I had access to that, I would actually probably try and use it. My concern would be for like multi-track video stuff is that I guarantee you YouTube has never built that in as support for mobile or television, which is where like 95% of viewership comes from. And that would probably be a huge problem where, you know, we could make a cool ass video of like Left 4 Dead 2 multiplayer where you got 8 different screens going on, and that would be great, except when people watch it on their TV, which most people do, they would only see like me. And that would be it. So unfortunately, it's not very it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Assuming it even works at all, which at this point it may not even do it. The only time I've ever seen it utilized was they filmed it was a music concert of some sort. And it allowed you to choose which camera angle you watched this music concert from. It was really cool. And then they didn't do anything with it. We get 300 bits from Shy, who says, Vin Scully who? Stephen George is new baseball commentator. I don't know anything about any baseball commentators at all. Except for like Harry Carey. And that's it. Baseball? That's it. That's all I know. I also don't know anything about baseball. There are 9 innings. You get 3 outs. You get 4 fouls. I guess I do. I could play baseball. Like, I actually know the rules of I don't know the rules of football at all.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea how that's played. No idea how that's played. Name all the positions on the baseball team. Well, that's, first off, you don't need to know that. That's not something you need to know in baseball, Chaz. You just need to know where they're at. Right?
There's a guy there, there's a guy there.
You got guys on the bases. Mm-hmm. You got guys further.
How many?
Several. And then you got a guy that's pitching, and you got a guy that's...
Shortstop?
What's that?
The shortstop position?
I don't know where that is.
Between 3rd and 4th.
That's a
Sorry,
good...
second and third.
Okay, there you go. So that makes sense. That's a good... Listen, if you were to ask me to draw a baseball diamond, I could do it.
It's a diamond.
It's a diamond. And then if you were to ask me to draw where the outfield is, I could do that too. It just keeps going. Folks really want to do an Abbott and Costello routine. It's the little thing. And then could I put people on the map? I could. And how many people are in the field at once? I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, is there a catcher?
Yes.
Yeah, but hold on. This is a legitimate question. I do not know. Is each team have their own catcher?
Yes.
Or is there just like a neutral catcher?
No. Each team has their own because
because they got to do the signals.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4, 5, 6. So 6 within the diamond. You said there's another person between second and third.
Shortstop.
I don't know about that, but okay, I'll give it to you. 7, and then there's got to be people out. So 8, 9. I bet there's 10. 10 just sounds like a good number. It's 8? No, it has to be at least 9.
There's 3 in the outfield.
It's gotta be 9, right? It's 9. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, no. How'd I get to 10? Are we counting the catcher?
3 outfield. 3 on bases. A pitcher.
Wait, 3 on base. Oh my God, you're right. Sorry, I was counting there's someone at home plate.
Yeah, the catcher.
Yeah, but I was putting 2 people there. That's why I got confused. Okay, I'm
The
good
umpire?
now. Umpire is neutral party.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I counted the catcher twice. Well, it's not that I counted the catcher twice. It's that I counted first baseman, second baseman, third baseman, fourth baseman, and catcher, and only then realized there doesn't need to be a fourth baseman. That's kind of, it doesn't really help us accomplish anything that we need to. Yeah, 9. Okay. See? I knew. It took me a minute to get there, but I knew. And I know the rules of baseball. You know why I know the rules of baseball? Do you know? Do you know why?
No.
I bet you did. Think of it.
Why are you?
I bet because
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Do you know why? But take a guess as to why I would know the rules of a sports game.
Because it was in a video game?
Yeah. It's because I played. Wii Sports is a good one too. Yeah, I played Ken Griffey Jr.'s MLB Baseball for the Super Nintendo.
Do you? Do you know? Huh? Do you? No? Do you?
That game has great music. I mean, absolutely stellar music. There's some like good stuff in it. Actually, Nintendo. I'm gonna take a little detour here. Follow me. Follow me. No. Follow me. No. Nintendo Power. Way back in the day, had a magazine
Called Nintendo Power.
No. Had a what do you call it? Like a Chaz knows exactly what I'm trying to say. Nintendo Power had a merchandise insert thing that they sold stuff from the Nintendo Power catalog, like occasionally. It was a whole thing that you could actually get little stamps as part of your subscription, and the stamps took like $1 each off of your purchase. There was times in childhood I bought things from Nintendo, and I sent in a bunch of little stamps so I could get things for free. It was cool. The whole thing was really neat. It was very 90s. Anyway, so the merch insert had all sorts of different things that you could buy, and one of the things that they sold in the early to mid 90s was a compact disc called Play It Loud. And this Play It Loud CD had like, I don't know how many tracks, like 70 or 80 tracks from different Super Nintendo video games on it. And it was a very eclectic collection of music. I believe it had music from like F-Zero, and it might have had music from, I want to say Yoshi's Island, but that can't be right because I feel like Yoshi's Island would have been too late in the Super Nintendo's history. Anyway, one of the things that it had on there was music from Ken Griffey Jr., and it's because it's so good. It is so good. And
I know,
that
Renee.
it
I know.
tied back in. Ken Griffey Jr.'s music was on that disc, and I heard that music a lot on the disc because I played the crap out of that disc, and it was fantastic. And I had a friend that had the game, and we played it a lot, and that's how I learned the rules of baseball.
There's the image of it.
Oh, it does have Yoshi's Island. Oh my God. Yoshi's Island, F-Zero, Ken Griffey Jr., The Legend of Zelda. That's weird. Super Metroid and Star Fox. I like how it just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there's actually like, God, I
Multiple
don't.
songs in those tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yoshi's Island was pretty early. No. Yoshi's
Steven thought this was like
What? No.
earlier than that game.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island is
Well, you're looking that up.
95,
Let's
right?
talk about Fabric.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island is 95. I guess that, you know, that's like halfway through the life cycle of the Super Nintendo, so I guess it's still somewhat early. Because the thing came out in like 91.
It's a treat, not a trip, we promise. Tiny Eddie's earthy and sour cool fingers.
Fingers are truly a treat. 1000 bits from Mr. Viperfang says, Hey Eddie, do you have a snack to save Mal? Tiny Eddie's earthy and sour. Cool fingers.
I do like sour candy, but I don't want them to be earthy.
What if there were sour mushrooms?
I don't know.
I don't think it would work, but would I be willing to try it? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Viperfang. I appreciate it. We got 300 bits from Shy. Says, you've heard Abbott and Costello's Who's on First, right? It's basically just that. I'm glad that there were so many folks that were referencing Abbott and Costello's. Honestly, that's actually, I had a weird period a few months ago. I think it was before we moved to Raleigh.
Yeah.
And I had this situation where I just really wanted to ingest a bunch of old comedy, and I didn't get a chance to do it. I had a moment where I wanted to. I really and I watched some clips of a little Abbott and Costello, but more silent stuff. More who's the guy that did all of the
Buster Keaton?
Yes, Keaton. I watched a bunch of Keaton clips for 2 or 3 days. I would be working and I would have something on the other screen and just be old Buster Keaton stuff. I don't know. I would really love to actually watch, sit down and watch entire film stuff, the old stuff. But Chaplin too, but Keaton was the one I had been, looking at. Anyway. People are saying the video got stuttery. We have 0 dropped frames on our end, so I have no idea. Twitch. Twitch did this. 38 months from Bardic Puppy. Appreciate it. 300 bits from Arpiga says, I'm sorry to have doubted you about baseball. Surely you're prepared for the new rule changes coming to the MLB next year.
Yeah,
oh, God.
Yeah, you know about those?
No, I do not know about those. I don't think I would be able to tell you about that. Actually, the other thing I just thought of, of all of the sports games I've been to in my life, I've been to baseball games more by a huge magnitude.
We need to go to a hockey game.
I've never been to a hockey game.
I know.
I've never been to a soccer game. I've never been to a basketball game. I have never been to a football game. I mean, I've been to some of these things in high school sports stuff, but for professional stuff, either collegiate or professional. I've never done any of those things. But baseball, I've been to so many baseball games.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a ton of minor league games in Myrtle Beach. We went to a minor league game.
And he's never been to Boston in the fall. Only in the spring.
And I've never been to Boston in the fall. So, yeah, and we went to a baseball game in Tokyo. That was wild. The Japanese love baseball. I mean, that stadium was packed, and it was a big stadium.
It was a weekday.
Yeah, so I've been to a lot of baseball games. That's probably also why I know the rules. Because I've seen it played a bunch.
Yeah. It was a Thursday. It might have been a Thursday. We've been to more sumo games than I've been to soccer games.
One?
Yeah.
I mean, that also works for me. I've never been to a soccer game, like a professional soccer game. I do feel like, I will say this about soccer, football fans. I do feel like they probably possess more energy than any other sports folks. Like, I've seen video of soccer fans in a stadium, and like, those folks can scream. They are so genuinely excited about what's happening in a way that I think is just unmatched in any other sporting event. Maybe hockey. Like, hockey fans are pretty ravenous too. But football people, soccer people, I mean, like, they are very
Have you met
excited.
an Alabama fan?
Like, football people are, like, American football people are also very excitable about sports.
Someday
in
we'll
a way
make it
that
to a Packer game.
in a way that baseball and basketball could never dream of touching, like, dear Lord. But even so, I think I'd still give it to soccer. Soccer is like, there's something special about soccer fans. We had a sub from Enemy Orange. Welcome. 25 months from CD Chow. 35 months from LB308. 300 bits from Marty Griff says, did SCAD do sports? They did. I was always genuinely surprised.
Was it just intramurals, or was it like actual?
I don't even know what that means. That word is lost on me. We had a mascot and everything. It was the SCAD.
It was a bee.
Bee holes, not bee holes. Whoa.
Art the bee.
What am I trying to say? It's not bee holes. What? They're bees, but what was I trying to say? It's definitely trying to say something.
Yeah, you definitely were.
Buzzy bees? Why did I say?
Art the bee.
Yeah, but why? I don't know. Woo. I have no idea where I was trying to... Well, I don't know what I was trying to go for.
No.
Bees climb into holes called hives. It's a really good alert sound. Anyway, did they do sports? They did. I remember very occasionally you would hear about a student actually, like, engaging in the sports, and I was just like, oh yeah, we have sports. And they were always trying to get students to go to the games, like, hey, you gotta go to the game and see them play softball or volleyball, or there's probably other things, horse racing, I don't know. And I didn't.
See, I was in intramurals for like one season, which was when you come up with like a team of like your friends for a sport, and then you compete against other teams at college. At the same school. So like, I was on an ultimate frisbee intramurals team, and there were like 7 intramural ultimate frisbee teams, and then we just played against each other.
Did I just learn something new about you?
I only did it for like 2 months.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
It was like freshman year.
Sorry, it is so rare to learn something new about Mallory. We've been together for like going on 15 years. You played ultimate frisbee?
Yeah, for like fall. Like for a month or 2. It was only intramurals. It wasn't like an actual thing. It was like for fun. You don't get any trophies. You don't do anything. It's just
still neat. I didn't know that. I love frisbee.
We also played hacky sack a lot in freshman year.
That's a college thing.
I know.
College thing is sitting outside with an acoustic guitar playing music that nobody wants to hear, and then also hacky sack.
We had a lot of slackliners.
A what?
Slacklining?
I don't know what that is.
It's when you put a strip about, like a nylon strip about yay wide between 2 trees, and you like just kind of stand on it and walk and bounce. We had a lot of those.
Yeah, Ultimate Frisbee is a college thing. I never played Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, my family played a lot of disc golf. I had an uncle who was like pro, semi-pro, and had a course in his backyard.
Yeah. And also, like, created...
Baskets.
Yeah.
And his baskets were like prizes for tournaments, like pro tournaments.
Yeah. And, like, even within the disc golf community, like,
he's known.
He's known because he's done a lot of work and stuff with the community. Anyway, I would love to play disc golf.
There's a few courses around here.
I want to do that. That's something I'm
pretty sure I've seen it on maps, but I don't know exactly where they are.
I am right now this second speaking this into existence. I want to play disc golf.
When my dad visits, he can bring his discs and we can go.
Perfect.
Just remind me. So
Perfect.
He brings them.
I have only ever gotten a chance to play disc golf one time. I loved it because I love throwing the frisbee. I haven't done it in years, but I love that. And that would be a lot of fun. Also be very fun to take.
We could just go
some
get
other
a
folks,
few
too.
and just film Stephen and Friends live.
Coffee.
Oh my god, yes we should. Yes, we frickin' should. Oh, I love
Brandon
that.
still here?
The future. I'm also speaking this into existence. Not like the full future, but a partial future. The partial future of Stephen and Friends is doing more IRL stuff. That's what I honestly I think that would be a lot of fun. What is disc golf? Disc golf is, think of the concept of normal golf, except instead of a golf ball, it's a frisbee, and instead of a hole in the ground, it's a basket. So there's a basket that has these chains that come down around it. So you're trying to hit the frisbee into the chains and it'll knock it down into this basket that grabs it. But
and
otherwise
there's
the same.
and you like try and get in 3 shots.
Yeah, so it's the exact same concept as normal golf, but with a frisbee.
There's a course at NC State? Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, 300 bits from K-Breeze says, my husband likes the gold course at Centennial Campus at North Carolina State. Yeah, I like this a lot. I want to do this.
Chaz, are you sure you can't stay a few extra days for Extra Life?
Chaz, we could go play disc golf. I don't know when we would get around to doing this, but I'm just speaking it into existence now. I want to do that sort of thing. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. Yeah, Throw Down gifted a sub to Barias. We have 300 bits from Mr. Viperfang says, here's a clown for having to hear beehole this morning. It is a funny phrase. Mm-hmm. It sounds like something like a 9-year-old would say coming home from school angry. Kenny was such a beehole today. And it's just a funny phrase. 300 bits from Shy who says, since we're talking about sports and I've had anime on the mind this morning, let's recommend a sports anime. Birdie Wing is a golf anime from earlier this year. Imagine if golf was Dragon Ball Z with underground betting and mafia deals on top. That's quite a description. Imagine if golf was Dragon Ball Z. Vagabond says, oh, it's so good. Birdie Wing is insane. Neat. I like the really crazy stuff. Dragon Golf Z. That will be fun. Okay, we should actually start to wrap though.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 and a vlog is scheduled for 10:30 and is probably out now. I got another 2018 vlog done. Still working on them to the best of my ability. Things that are happening today. A 2018 vlog. Second thing is happening
My full
today.
version?
Hopefully, yeah. Mal did all of her passes on it, so I need to try and finish that up. With any luck, Mal's full version will be out today. That'll be the hope. Otherwise, Pokemon's still coming out on Steven Plays. Oh, the other thing is that since we are 4 weeks out from Extra Life, and we'll look at the totals here in a minute, since we're 4 weeks out from Extra Life, from here on out, we are posting memorable moments 4 times a week, and they're all Extra Life moments. So for the entire month of October, only Extra Life moments.
So many good ones.
There's some really good ones. Just to let you know things that are happening for this week on Extra Life, you can look forward to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness Jovi. That's this week.
Jovi.
Killing Boyd is this week. Like, there are really funny moments happening this week. So look forward to it. Look forward to it. And as a reminder, Extra Life is October 29th. If you haven't already asked off of work that day, and maybe
Those
also
days.
the next day, I would. Let's take a look at what's in the lead. Holy crap! Sonic and the Black Knight with $500. Elebits at $250. Big Brain Academy $200. Babysitting Mama $175. As a reminder, we do have the baby.
Unfortunately.
We do have the baby. The baby don't got no clothes.
It just needs a little diaper.
We need to make a little diaper for it.
Tell Haley to.
I might
Give
do
her the
that.
measurements.
I'll just give her the baby. Just be like, can you do something?
Make a little.
Can you
make a little diaper for this baby?
Can you? Yeah, the baby was sent in during mail a while back, and I sincerely appreciated getting the baby. But the baby was, the baby was used. My favorite phrase, and it didn't come with the original
Diaper.
So gotta put something else on that baby. Yeah. Oh my god. Back in Red says making the vlog logo tee and cargo shorts. I don't know exactly what Haley is capable of. And also I don't want to like ask her all of her time, right?
Yeah.
But even if we just had fabric and then it was in like the old cartoons, the big novelty
Before the stickers.
What?
Before they had like sticky.
Yeah, the big novelty.
They had big safety pins.
Big novelty safety pin. That would look very cute and funny. Where does the
safety pin goes right
No.
under the belly button.
Where does the Wii remote go?
In the back.
Okay. Good. That's good. I'm glad that's where it goes. All right. Well, that is going to be it for. It's the spinal cord. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for being here. We will be back on Thursday.
Yeah. Disc only tonight.
And I'll see y'all for Disco Only tonight. I'm sure there'll be a hoot of a time. And, I'm just going to go ahead and, since we're going to do a bit of a vlog rate. I don't even remember what the vlog
You look like a tourist.
Oh, it's Mother's Day. Mother's Day 2018 is out, so you can watch Mother's Day 2018. Thanks for watching. I'll go ahead and give y'all some sort of dome. There's some good ideas for domes. Let's do It's too obvious. It's sure. Thunder Beehole! That's it. Go watch the vlog.